Okay, so I've opened the sample dissertation document. As you can see, this looks just like the one I downloaded earlier. The only difference is that further down the document, there's actually some text already in it, just so that I can demonstrate some of the features of the template. The document has got a built-in binding margin. If you do not need to bind your document, then you can reduce the size of this margin on the left-hand side. I'm not going to do it for this document, but just to show you, you can go to the layout ribbon, choose margins, and go to custom margins right down the bottom. And you would need to reduce this gutter back down to 0. And then you would need, before you clicked OK, you would need to check the whole document option down here. I'm not actually going to do this on this document. I want it as it is, but if you do need to do that, that is how you do it. The title page here, the cover sheet, is something that you can fill in. It does say down here that if you do have a faculty, school or departmental cover sheet, you can use that instead, but we just set this up because it's a fairly standard one and should be acceptable for most disciplines. You fill this front page in by either just clicking into the various sections and typing your information in. So I'm just going to put my amazing piece of research. So that's the title of my dissertation, and then some of these are drop-down lists. So I'm going to say this is a dissertation. It is in partial fulfilment. Sometimes if you're doing certain types of degree, it's the only thing you're submitting, in which case it would be full fulfilment. But most of you, it'll be partial fulfilment. The degree of, master of, and type in your subject area. I'm going to put education. In the University of Hull, you would click in here just to put your name in, and the month and the year, whenever that happens to be submitted. At the bottom of the page, you will see an example of some guidance notes. These all need deleting before you submit. They're always in blue with the red line, so they should stand out. There is a space here as well for a copyright statement. It's rare that this is used for master's dissertations, but if you have used any copyright information in your dissertation, then there is a link here to the Get Guidance to give you some information about that. At the very bottom, there is a piece that says, below this line is a hidden section break, and then very shouty capitals, do not delete this. It's very important that you don't. The section breaks hold all of the formatting information for the different parts of the document. So if you accidentally delete them, then it can mean the page numbering will go awry. If you want to make sure that you don't select that when you are deleting the guidance information, then if you go to the home ribbon, there is a button here, Show Hide, in the paragraph section. Now this shows you all of what's called the non-printing characters. So every time you press the enter key or the space bar or anything like that. And you can see at the bottom of the page that that section break is clearly shown. So you can easily select the other information out, making sure you don't select the section break, so that when you delete it, the section break stays there. You can work with these characters on, or you can turn them off if you find them a little bit irritating. The rest of the front matter, you can do the same, exactly the same way. You can just delete that out if you don't need it. For example, some people might not want to use the dedication, although others may wish to dedicate their work to a loved one, perhaps someone who's passed on, or to Allah. This isn't the same as the acknowledgements, they come next. Here they are. So here you have a place where you can acknowledge one or more people for the help that they've given you whilst you've been working on your masters. At bare minimum, you would put your supervisor in there. They do get quite upset if you don't, and they are marking it, so I would definitely suggest you do that. Some people like to acknowledge the help and support that partners have given them. Some people even acknowledge members of the skills team for the help that they've given them throughout it. It's entirely up to you who you acknowledge in that section. If you've been lucky enough to be able to publish anything or speak at a conference about your research, then you can put some information about that there, but again, delete it if it's not relevant. And then we have your abstract. So this is where you would put the summary of your research. It really should go onto one page. It can be changed to single line spacing if you need it to fit onto one page, but I'll try and keep it there if possible. And then we're into the main body of your dissertation. So we've got a contents page, which you can see has got some stuff in it because I said it's got text already in it, this document. We've then got a list of figures option with nothing in it yet. We're going to populate that in a bit. We've got the list of tables, and then there are some other sample front matter headings that would come at this point in the dissertation because they are an integral part of the work. So if any of these are useful to you, you can use them. Again, your supervisor will guide you on it, but just delete that if you don't need it. More hidden section breaks, and then I get to the main part of the dissertation.